Feminine boys are anything but soft. Print out your journal, grab your favorite cup of tea, let's do the work. To my feminine boys, it's time for a reframe. Stop shrinking. Stop acting scared. You are anything but soft. You are strong, you are powerful, you are a disruptor, you are groundbreaking. It takes real courage to show up in your femininity in a world, in a community that tries to shame it. So step your cookies up and stop forgetting who the hell you are. Do y'all remember when they used to say that? I actually don't even really know what that means. If that's not a good saying that I should be saying, or if I'm saying it wrong, let me know. Y'all know I'm terrible with sayings. So this came to me, I actually just got back from the gym and I was thinking how I stand out at the gym. Like, this is what I wore. Wait, you can barely see. But I express my femininity even when I'm at the gym. Like, I don't give a fuck. And I was just kind of thinking like, actually, we are not soft at all. At least I know I'm not soft. We are very strong and courageous. And some of y'all are believing the fucking lies that they have been telling us. So let's get into it. Section 1, why you started falsely believing that you were soft. If you're anything like me, the boys on the basketball team, your male cousins, uncles, and even the boys in the playground tried to shame you for being soft, AKA feminine, acting like a girl. But it's 2025, it's time for your reframe. Let me in this journal remind you to wake the fuck up, show up and kick ass as you walk past your haters. Do it with your head held high, hips loose if that's you baby, do it, and no apologies. All right, so to start off, I want you to get into your head before I start dumping all of my stuff onto you. Ask yourself these questions. Also, I hope you guys are using pen and paper. When I am doing these videos, you need to have a pen and paper in hand. There's something about writing this stuff down. If you don't want to print out the journal and do all that, I get it, that's fine. But ponder some of these questions on paper. Don't just think about them in your head. There's something that happens, something magical, and I'm not joking, I'm being serious. When you actually articulate your thoughts on paper, something about seeing them and letting your hand just let them write out and flow out. It kind of like helps you to really see what the fuck is going on. And that's what we're trying to do, be the change we wish to see. And here I am trying to hype y'all up because femininity is not something we should be ashamed about. It's something we should be walking around with unbothered. Just like they walk around with their masculinity, just like everybody else walks around with their, I don't know, their privileges. This is something we can do the same. We can do the same with our femininity. Ask yourself, where did I first learn that it wasn't okay to be feminine? Who made me feel ashamed of my softness? How has denying my femininity affected my confidence or self-worth? And then what parts of myself have I been dimming to fit in? So for me, I want to talk about who made me feel ashamed of my softness. And that was my uncle. I know they don't want me to talk about that. And I know they don't want me to be honest, but I'm gonna be honest. He used to relentlessly tease me and judge me for wanting to do stuff with my grandmother, whether that's gardening, making cupcakes, just sitting around her, helping her cook. I fucking loved my grandmother. And honestly, I need to plug a picture of her beautiful self in here. She is the reason I was able to survive him calling me names, him calling me soft, acting like a girl, stop acting like a little bitch. And even people, another person that comes to mind is basketball. I was really good at basketball, y'all. I know that might be shocking to hear, but I was terrible at football. My dad tried to make me do football and baseball, no. But basketball, I was really good at it. But what stopped me from playing it was one guy in particular. I think his name was Timothy. I can't remember. I think it's Harris. I don't remember. But we were all in the locker room, which is probably why I have trauma about locker rooms to this day. Like, I was just at the gym and I'm like, I need to get out of here. Too much masculine energy. All that to say, we were in the locker room and I remember he was saying that the only reason why I was a starter because he was mad because he was like, I don't know, like in the 8th grade, 7th grade, and I was like a 4th or 5th grader and I was starting. So that means I was doing a really good job. And he was trying to knock me down. And he was like, the only reason why you're starting is because you were sucking the coach's dick. Something like that. And I remember he said it in front of everybody in the locker room and I was just like, oh my God, like, he was like mad, and I internalized that because at that age I didn't have the courage and the confidence, and that started to slowly wither away at my confidence. Men like him, which is funny because it's black men, don't even get me started on that made me feel ashamed of my softness and my femininity. So I ask you, how did that show up for you? Think about those questions, ponder those questions. Moving forward, these people, places, and beliefs are getting in the way. They've been programmed deep into our subconscious minds, and now they're blocking our shine. They're keeping us from showing up and showing out, from stepping into that magnetic glow that we all have. It's time to identify them, question them, and let them the fuck go. So, y'all know me, I love to do comparisons. So I wanted to compare how it feels when you show up authentically versus how it feels when you hide parts of yourself. So I'm just gonna read the first 4. For those of you that download the journal, you can dig in a little bit deeper. When you show up authentically, your energy feels magnetic. Your presence is powerful without trying. Your confidence feels natural, and then you attract aligned people and experiences. That is the biggest part. That will come in handy later in the video. When you're hiding parts of yourself, your energy feels anxious or drained. You second guess everything. What am I gonna wear? What am I gonna say? Did I say this? Do I do that? Da, 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 da. All in your head. You're not actually living, showing up, being. You attract people who don't really see you. You feel disconnected from your truth. Again, dig a little bit deeper into those. For those of you that download the journal, I have more for you to dig into. And then obviously, as you all know, I will start the conversation after the video. Talk to me about the ones that you do agree with and the ones that you don't. Moving forward. So now, tell me, which set of emotions and feelings would you rather embody? And be honest, does that choice align with your current reality? Is the way you're showing up today a reflection of your truth or a reaction to fear? I always say, choosing fear, love over fear. I always want to choose love over fear. It's not always easy, trust me. And then here's a short list. Where the something's wrong with me belief begins. Again, I'll read the first 4. There's several more. You can dig into those more. A parent telling you to man up when you cried. Specifically this one, I loved playing with my sister's Barbie dolls. But there was a specific time where they came out with these heads, and they were like the big heads that you could like really do their hair. It was like almost like a person's head and you were doing their hair. And I remember my mom and my sister were gone. They went probably on vacation with the other girls, which I used to hate that shit. I'm like, why y'all leave me here with the boys? Y'all know I don't fuck with them. Anyways, they were gone. And then I went to my sister's room and I found her doll, and I was just like, I'm about to get this girl, I'm gonna get her together. And I used to help my grandmother put curlers in her hair and like help her, yada, yada, yada. So all that to say, I was like getting her together, combing out the hair. I think I probably had like a little spritz, some spray, the rollers from my mom's drawer, and I was putting them in. And my dad was watching football. He comes into the room and he literally took a look at me and saw me like playing with the doll's hair. And he literally just shook his head like this and walked back out of the room. When I tell you that, and I really just now came back to that feeling, like that crushed my soul. To have a father that is ashamed of you is not a nurturing feeling. And I think many of us are still carrying that shame today. And that's why I show up the way that I do. And that's why I make the videos that I do. And I'm making this video specifically because fuck them. Fuck them for not giving us enough space to exist in this world. There is no right or wrong. If I am not hurting you or bothering you or disrespecting you, leave me the fuck alone. I let you do you with your hyper masculine, super black, heterosexual black men get on my nerves, y'all. With y'all shit. Let me do mine. Don't mind my business. Mind yours. Why are you so focused on what I'm doing? I ain't focused on you. Friends laughing when you moved or spoke too feminine. I remember in grade school, I used to run like this, with my hands like flared out. And my dad told me, he was like, run like this with more power. And I was just like, oh shit. That's why everybody stares at me when I'm running. Teachers calling you out for being too much or a distraction. Cousins or siblings mocking your voice or how you dress. So these are not specific to me, but I'm just saying raw just to get your head into the mindset of where this stuff might have came from. I want you to kind of jump back into that time before you came out when you were younger and you were like, ooh, acting feminine, being soft, acting like a girl is not okay. Moving forward. I think a lot of us underestimate the power of our environment, but I need you to start taking this seriously. Pay attention to the spaces you enter. Pay attention to the people you surround yourself with. Are they nurturing your spirit? Are they celebrating your authenticity? Do you feel seen, safe, and supported when you're fully yourself? Because your environment either waters you or withers you, and you deserve to grow. Ask yourself, what spaces do I enter regularly that make me shrink? Who in my life makes me second guess my authenticity? Where do I feel like I have to perform or tone myself down? This is a big one for me. I recently me and one of my partners had taken a break, and I hate to keep bringing this up, but it is the first thing that came to my mind, which showed me that that was not a relationship I needed to be so close, or someone that he was not someone I wanted to be so close to anymore, because he put me in environments where I did have to perform, where I did have to tone myself down. And this is not even just my femininity. This is my femininity from the way that I talk, from my mannerisms to the way that I dress, to my blackness. Like, I couldn't talk with my firm, direct tone, like how I grew up. Like I always say, you were taught to speak up and say it with your chest, not to be soft. And they wanted me to be meek, quiet, and polite. Or honestly, they probably just wanted me to shut the fuck up and let them talk. And that there was not enough space for me to be. I had to water myself down to be around his friends and his family. And what happened was I started getting pissed off. I started cussing them niggas out left and right. I got text messages that I sent to his dad like, nigga, you got 2 more times to act crazy around me. And now I know I could have said things differently and I shouldn't have had so much rage. But when you are in spaces where you're constantly suppressing your I-ness because everybody else seems to have a problem with who you are, me personally, because I actually fuck with myself, I really love myself, I'm gonna react and I'm gonna respond. See, some of y'all might just be like, okay, I'm just gonna be shy, I'm gonna die myself out. No, I get pissed the fuck off. I'll be ready to smack a hoe. I'm not joking, I'm being so serious. That's how much I hate when people, and I hate to say this, but it's true, when specific white people, because his family is very, very well off. I hate when rich white people try to police people that come into their spaces to act like them. There is not enough space for us to just show up as we are. And to me, that is fucked up and not fair. But at the end of the day, that's the reality that we have to face. Again, which is why I decided to put space in between me and him, because those spaces were not for me. And now I'm spending time and energy pouring back into myself, because I fuck with myself, and trying to find spaces that love me as I am. And unfortunately, because he was so tied to his friends and his family and couldn't let them go, I'm like, nigga, well, then I'm gonna have to let you go. We're gonna have to take a little bit of a break, and we're gonna check back in and see how you feel. So yeah, again, pen and paper, think to yourself. Just like I was able to articulate that, do it for yourself. Where do you feel you have to perform and tone yourself down? Who actually celebrates you for being and not just tolerates you? You know, I have 2 people that come right to the top of my head. My boyfriend, one of my partners that I'm still with. Remember, I'm solo polyamorous, so I have multiple partners. One of my partners specifically, and then my grandmother. I have like a handful of cousins that really, really fuck with me, like always like, where are you at? We miss you, come back home, yada, yada, yada. So who are those people? You wanna be around those people. You wanna find more of those people. Like, there is nothing the matter with you. There is enough space for us all to take up space. Moving forward, are the people closest to me helping me grow or keeping me stuck? What kind of spaces do I want to start seeking out more? Again, pen and paper, take the time, you are worth it. These questions, these journals, this work that I am providing for you all is to help you to get that confidence level back up, help you to stop giving so many fucks because you care so much, you are dying inside. And a part of me right now, specifically, I'm taking a break from drinking and smoking and kind of like going out just because I'm like, I don't need to numb anymore. I don't need to only be in those spaces. I want to learn how to not feel like there's something wrong with me to the point that the only time that I can feel like I'm okay or that I can show up as myself is when I'm extremely intoxicated or when I am high off of drugs. And for some of y'all, that's the only time y'all can be yourselves, is when you're at the bar super drunk or high, or when you're at some DL man's basement getting fucked by him. We need to come out of this second closet that we have all put ourselves into. Moving forward, what's feeding you and what's draining you? So again, I'm gonna read the first 3 for this one for the sake of time of the video. I know I like to talk and communicate. But for those of you that download the journal, you can dig in deeper. So I have an environment that waters you versus an environment that withers you. So, waters you. You feel seen and celebrated for your full self. You laugh freely and speak without editing. Feedback feels supportive, not shameful. And then withers you. You feel judged and misunderstood. Oh my God, being misunderstood, that shit is frustrating after a while. Sometimes you want someone to just be like, hey, I hear you, I see you, and me too, which is again why I create these videos and which is why I want us to start talking to each other. After this video, I'll be starting the conversation. We need to talk to each other because a lot of us are alone. If I see another comment about saying nobody likes me, I feel unseen, I da-da-da-da, hop into the conversation. Hop into the conversation, make somebody else feel seen. Moving forward, your energy feels drained or heavy afterward. You censor your voice, laugh, or movements. You weren't born thinking something was wrong with you, you were taught that. Systems like family, school, religion, and even queer community condition you to believe that softness, sensitivity, or femininity made you less worthy. As Don Miguel Ruiz, one of my favorite authors, and Bell Hooks, and others have written, these beliefs are inherited, not true. This journal is your invitation to unlearn the lies and return to the fullness of who you've always been. All right, section 2, and you wonder why you can't get a man. all right. I'm gonna hold y'all hands when I say this. A lot of y'all talk about feeling unseen, undesired, and unwanted, but to be honest, but be honest with yourself. Do you even see yourself? Do you desire yourself? Do you want yourself? Because the way you show up for you sets the tone for how the world responds. So to get us thinking more about this, I have created some scenarios. I'm just gonna read the first two. Confidence is magnetic, see yourself. The first one. You walk into a bookstore and see two guys who are totally your type, so equally your type. Like you would talk to both of them, date both of them, fuck down them both. Fuck with both of them. Who are you drawn to? Is it the one who is slumped over with a hoodie on, avoiding eye contact, like he gave up on himself? Or is it the one that is standing tall, smiling, connecting with the cashier and making eye contact? 2, you're at a coffee shop. Which one feels magnetic? The guy that is sitting alone, scrolling through his phone, hunched over, completely checked out? Or is it the one sipping his drink, reading a book, and occasionally looking up with soft confidence, like he's at peace with himself? So, let's dig a little bit deeper. Pen and paper. Ask yourself, do I desire myself emotionally, spiritually, and physically? Would I want to date me just as I am today? Do I speak to myself with love or with criticism? Am I wanting for someone else to validate me before I show up fully? And then lastly, do I show up for myself the way I expect others to show up for me? People can feel, sense, and see when you don't like yourself. It doesn't matter how attractive you are, because attractiveness is subjective. It doesn't matter if you're feminine or masculine, light or dark, slim or thick. If you don't like your own reflection, why would they? If you don't desire yourself, why would they? If you wouldn't date or love you, how could you expect anyone else to? That's an energy many feminine men have been conditioned to carry. Specifically, shame. But it's time to unlearn that. It's time to walk in your power and fuck the idea of masculine men are superior. Truth is, many of them envy us. They envy our confidence, our freedom, our glow. They could never do what we do and make it look as good as we do because they're too scared. Truth is, they need us and they want us because masculinity and femininity, in case y'all forgot, are meant to complement, not compete. You know what does compete? Masculinity and masculinity. That creates tension. Masculinity and unapologetic femininity, now that's chemistry, that's balance, and that's real. You know, this like mask for mask thing that has been going on, I'm just like, do y'all really enjoy that? I don't know, maybe they do, and I'm not gonna get into that because maybe they do. But at the end of the day, one of y'all gotta bend over. One of y'all gotta be soft and open up and let somebody in. And I just, personally, when I top, the worst experiences I have had is when I can't get in because you are clenching so hard. Typically, the more masculine they are, the less likely they are to relax and open up. The more feminine they are, piece of cake. It's like, okay, I trust you. I know how to relax. But masculine guys, they're so like, all the time. It's like, dude, chill, breathe, take a breath. But y'all like mask for mask. Okay, whatever. Moving forward. Let's take an assessment. Let's gauge where we are at. This assessment is titled Unapologetic. Are you walking in your truth or hiding your shine? So this assessment is going to explore how confidently you're embodying your femininity or still dimming your light to survive. This self-assessment is specifically for feminine gay men who want to reflect on how fully and freely they're showing up. If you've ever found yourself shrinking, performing masculinity to stay safe, or questioning whether your softness makes you less worthy, this is for you. So this assessment has 3 sections. The first one touches on inherited beliefs. So I want you to reflect on how much your identity is shaped by messages you've absorbed from family, religion, media, community, especially around what it means to be a real man. Section 2, this one touches on self-abandonment and self-love. This one will explore, these questions will explore the ways you may have learned to abandon or silence your truth in the pursuit of acceptance, safety, or love. And then section 3 is about the courage to be seen. So this is going to be checking in on your willingness to be vulnerable, visible, and unapologetically you. This book is like one of my favorites, top tier. The Gifts of Imperfection. Oh my God, like that. I don't have mine because I just moved into this unit or my apartment, and I don't have my books set up yet, but it would typically be right behind me at this desk because as I'm making these videos, these journals, these assessments, that one right there is my go-to. But I'm torn between that one and All About Love. I always use those. But moving forward, knowing who you are and walking with your head high is magnetic. No one is drawn to someone who's constantly questioning their worth and drowning in self-doubt. Unlearn the shame, keep your head up. When you show up like you belong, the world has no choice but to make space for you. And the right people, places, and opportunities will rise to meet you. Give it a try. I mean, let's be honest, what do you have to lose? I say all that to say, specifically for this last section, you guys talk about not feeling seen, wanted, and desired. Do you even see and want and desire yourself? If you don't do that, people can feel that. People can sense that. What makes you think a man is going to be drawn and attracted to you if you're not even drawn and attracted to yourself? Come on, start here and then take your ass back out there and watch how many men flock your way. And also, it's not about them. It's not about that. It's about self-love, y'all. There's something about falling in love with yourself that just makes this life shit a lot easier, a lot less personal. You know how to go through all the bullshit. And that's what I'm here to give to you. Now, to remind you, I'm not perfect. I have my moments, I have my drawbacks. I am still learning, I am still trying to be better. I got a lot of haters out there that tell me about all the shit that I fucked up on. And trust me, I know I'm not perfect, but every day I do my best. And if this is the change you want to see within yourself, get this journal and keep doing the work. Keep watching videos like these. Change your algorithm. You are worth it. On that note, I hope you will come and join the conversation with me, hype me up, hype each other up, talk about things you agreed with, disagreed with. If not, at the minimum, remember to be the change you wish to see today. Take care.